where we had. So what we did yesterday is we started with the EC2 instance. We created a EC2 instance and we told that this is my EC2 instance, which is going to do everything for me. Now what I'm going to do is with this EC2 instance, I'm going to bring my Jenkins server up. So I'll take the IP address, come here, put it here and say :8080. So my Jenkins server should come up and it should run. Admin pass 123 and I should be able to log in. Now this are two from my morning class. Let me just go ahead and delete them. Need it. Okay, so this is what we had in the yesterday class. We created a shell job, and inside this shell job we had 2 lines of script. Like this is what we have written. This is what we wrote, and we ran that. And I also gave a schedule, and based on the schedule I was running it. So this is the schedule in which we were running it. I just not triggered it again. So I can see 246, 247 it ran, means one minute span it ran twice. Now today what we are going to do is we are trying to bring automation into picture. Now for bringing automation into picture, I will start using a tool called Maven. So the first question is, what is Maven? So if I come here and say Maven, it says is a build automation tool. So when I say build automation, what do you mean by that? So basically what happens that when I start writing a code, okay, there are high chances that I write a code on a different version. Let me say I'm writing a Java code, okay? So I write the code on a different version. There is another person who is using Java 11, I'm using Java 8. And when we run the code on prod environment, it is running on Java 9. So due to this version incompatibility, the code will not run, okay, or it will give unexpected results. So to mitigate that problem, I do a build of these projects. One more thing which will happen is when I write a code, it is in a human readable format, okay, or a high level language. I try to convert this into a machine readable code, which will be understood by a machine, and generally it is in binary format. We say it is a byte code, okay. So whatever you write is a source code. So let me show you that first. Notepad. So whatever you write is a high level code or high level language, and this gets converted to, if you do a build or compile. Build compile is same thing. If you do a build or compile, it gets converted into machine readable code or machine readable code. So you can say that I'm converting my source code. I'm converting the source code to byte code. Okay, we also say this is artifact executable. So we give different names here. Okay, now did we cover this thing or we are yet to cover this? Just let me know. We have covered Maven or we have to yet to cover Maven?
Yes.
No, not yet covered Maven.
No, I think it's first time we can talk about Maven.
Yep. Fine then. So we take this source code, do a compile or a build on top of that, and we convert it into our byte code or artifact. Okay, executable is what I'm talking about. So basically I'm trying to convert my human readable code to a machine readable code. Now for this, there are many tools available in the market, like Maven is there. Then you have Nant, N-A-N-T. You have Ant, you have Gradle. There are many tools available in the market, out of which you will see Maven is the one which is leading the market. Now, if I come to Maven, I can see that Maven is primarily used for Java projects, okay, but then it also supports other programming languages like Ruby, Scala, and many other languages. So I'll also be using Maven. Now, to start with Maven, the first thing which I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the installation of Maven. Let me close all these things. Now, come here and say Maven in 5 minutes. Okay, So if you click on this link, you get something like Maven in 5 minutes. Here, we'll follow this step by step. It says, if you want to learn Maven in 5 minutes, this is the official document from mavenapache.org. And it says, you need to first have Java installed on your machine in case you want to work with Maven. So let me come here to my machine. This is my machine. Let me connect to this machine. And first, let me install Maven. Now, I have already installed Maven. Yeah.
To connect to Jenkins is just the private ID plus 88, right?
No, to connect, I'm never using a private IP. I'm always using the public IP. I told that public IP is the one which will be used for any external connectivity outside AWS, and inside AWS only I'll be using private IP. So let me just come down here and say clear everything. I'll become a root user, sudo su hyphen. I'll give a host name, give anything, Jenkins server, and again sudo su hyphen. The first thing which I should check is Jenkins is up and running or not. I can see Jenkins is running because I can see this web coming up, but still, just to make things better, I will just come here and say service Jenkins status, and I can see Jenkins is active and running. Now I can clear all these things and start my work. Now when I say that I have to start my work, the first thing what I'm going to do is I'm going to install Maven. So the command will be yum install Maven. Now for me it is already installed, but for you, when you say yum install Maven, it will go ahead and install Maven for you. Or let me do one thing. Let me remove this and try to install it again. So if you have an install and you want to remove it, you can simply say yum remove Maven. So I'm just removing it and then I'll install it again. So here I'll come and say yum install Maven.
Sir, it's necessary first we install Jenkins, then Maven, or we can.
No, it is not necessary. You can go with
It's a separate tool. It's a separate tool from Jenkins.
two different tools, yes.
Yeah, okay.
I'm trying to install Maven. So it will go ahead and install Maven for me. Okay, so it is installed. Once Maven is installed, you can come and say mvn --version. And it will tell you that this is the Maven home. So just copy this. I will need it in future. So I'll copy this entire thing. Let me highlight this. Let me just copy this.
So it will install the latest Maven version, whatever it is available, right? We cannot install the lower version.
No, in case you want, you can. You have to precisely say which version you are looking at.
Okay. So and that Maven version can be like a Java version can be dependent on the Maven version. So if our project is
that they will accordingly map.
Okay.
So when you have Java already installed and on top of that you install Maven, Maven will accordingly map itself. So that is taken care by Maven itself. Now, once Maven is installed, the first thing it is telling install Maven and check by running this command Maven ---- version. Once Maven is installed, says if you run Maven ---- version, you get something like this. So I got this content. Now it says you would like to create a project on Maven. Now when you say that I'm going to create a project on Maven, okay, you need to run this entire set of command, this entire chunk you want to run. Now you need to understand what are you running here. So if you see here, it says a Maven project will have a folder structure like this. See here, there is a folder called my app. Inside that there is a file called pom.xml, source, main, Java, com, and then this is the actual code. Similarly, if I come here, say test, this is the test case. Now, how is this getting generated? So Maven has a standard folder structure, and this is the folder structure. So I'm also trying to create this folder structure. Okay, now what I will do is I will start here, Maven archetype generate means I want to generate the architecture which will support Maven. D group ID is com.mycompany.app. You can give any name here. Accordingly, this will come com my company app. So if you give a different name here, a different name will appear here. Basically, this is your folder structure. Same you can see here, com my company app. So whatever name you give, say com Vikas XYZ. So com Vikas XYZ will come here. Then D artifact ID is my app, means all the code will be present inside my app folder. See here, it is my app. So again, you give a different name, a different thing will come here. Then it says D archetype artifact ID is Maven archetype quick start, means I want to get started with Maven. Then D archetype version is 1.4 and the interactive mode is false. So this is what my command is. You don't have to memorize the command. You just need to know what is the purpose of this command and how to use it. So you can come here and say Control C, and you can just come here RM. One second. I can see nothing is here. So I have to just run that particular thing. Whatever I got from there, no, I have to run it here. So let me paste it here. Maven archetype generate. You give same name or a different name up to you. My app is the folder name, and Maven archetype quick start will be generated. So now what will happen? It will go ahead and run everything in the background, and it will create that entire project for you. So it will take some time, and then it will say build success. Now, when you run this stuff initially for the first time, when you run, lot of plugins will get downloaded automatically. Okay, I've already run it in the morning, so the plugins are not visible because it is already there. But when you run it for the first time, lot of plugins will get downloaded. Now, why that happens? So if I come here and say Maven repo architecture, ARCHITECTUR. Okay, so this is how Maven architecture looks like. Okay, when you run Maven, okay, it will look everything in the local repository, means in your laptop itself. If it is present in the local repository, very good. If it is not present in local repository, it will try to go to the remote repository. So remote repository is a central server in your project. Suppose it is not present here also, then it will go to the internet central repository and take it from here. So when I say central repository, the repository name is maven.org. So it will try to Maven repo. So this is the Maven repository.com. So all the plugins are present here. Okay, let me say you want to run Docker. See here, Docker Java, Docker. Suppose you want to run Ansible. Now, why am I doing all these things? Because at the end of the day, there are many softwares which are going to work together. So Maven should be able to integrate all of them together because it's a build automation tool. It means whatever version of code you're running, whatever version of software you have, it should not fail saying that, oh, you ran the code on Java 8, now it is Java 11, I will not allow you to run. So those kind of problems should not happen. That's why Maven repository makes sure that all the version of whatever you want is present here. So in my architecture, I saw that first it will try to find it in local. If it is able to find it in local, very good. If not, then in the project repository or the remote repository. If not, then it will go to the internet and take the latest dependency from there. So if I come back to this place, this is the folder structure which I am also generating. So it says my app. So let me go inside this CD, my app. Okay, and here I have installed a software called Tree. Yum install Tree. Now why I need Tree, I'll just show you. So Tree is a software which will give you a very arranged format of the file. Let me show you that. So I'll come here and say Tree, and the folder name is, wait, just I'll give you a Tree. So you can see here I'm getting this folder structure. It is saying in this location, if I simply do ls minus l, I will see there is pom.xml and source. But when I do tree, it is showing me there is a pom.xml, there is a source file. Inside source file, you have main. Inside main, Java, com, my company, and here is the code. The final code which we are trying to edit is here. Similarly, the automated test cases which we will write, we will put it here. So I'll go all the way here to look for this code. So why this is coming like this? Because it is the Maven folder structure. Okay. So I will do something like this: cd, you go to source, then after source you go to main. So I'm following this path. Okay, Java, then com, then my company, then app, then that's it. And in this folder structure, I will find my code, which is app.java. So if I come here and say nano app.java, this is what I'm able to find. So it's a hello world code, simple code. Obviously in prod environment, you'll not have such simple code, but let me just go ahead and say hello world from AWS. So I've changed the code. So the code is like this: Control X. Do you want to edit? Yes. So I've changed the code. If I say cd, I will come back to my home directory, and from here I can go to my app project, ls minus l. And if I want to see the structure, I can see it like this. Okay. So this is the folder structure which got generated. Now, again, I'll go back here. So cd my app, and I got this folder structure. Up to this, it is done. Then it says you will get a file called pom.xml, which is core of the project management in core of the project configuration in Maven. So all the dependencies, all the properties will be taken care by pom.xml. In fact, pom.xml can be very huge at times, because if you are running 100 softwares together, this pom.xml can become very big and it will be very complex to maintain them. But whatever it is, pom.xml is mandatory and it takes care of all the dependency. Now the question can be asked, what are you doing with pom.xml? So pom.xml is a file which will take care of all the dependencies. Like here, I'm running JUnit. Now suppose I want to run Selenium. Okay, so I can come here and say Maven Selenium dependency. I can put it like this. So if you know, Selenium is a testing tool. So Maven Selenium dependency. See, org Selenium, this thing, it is there in the Maven repository. Come here, and whichever version you want. So let me say your code is saying that I want 3.1 point something. So take this, click on this. This is the piece of code. This is the dependency. So basically what you do, you copy this, okay, and you edit it here. So whatever your code is expecting, right, you keep it here in the pom.xml. Let me say, come here and say nano pom.xml. So you can edit here in the dependency section. You have to edit this, or you have to change this. Okay, I'm not changing it, but I just show you that here you can change and add as many dependencies as you can. In that case, your project or your code will not fail and it will keep running. Okay, as of now, I'm not changing anything, but you can if you want. So this is pom.xml. Yeah.
Can you explain the pom.xml?
See, 3 developers who are working in my team. One is working on a Java platform, which is Java 8. The other one is working on Java 9. And the third one is working on Java 11. Because who is installing, and when they are installing, whether they go by recommended version, they go by custom setting, they upgrade, they do not upgrade, I don't have a control on that. So when a developer works on his laptop, he makes sure that the environment is okay, and he compiles the code and does a unit test. But at the end of the day, he will push the code to GitHub. In GitHub, nowhere it is mentioned that you should work on Java 8 only or Java 11 only. So developers have their own development environment. When they push the code to GitHub, my production team will take that code and deploy it to production environment. Now you wrote the code in Java 11, but it is supposed to run on Java 8. So what will happen? It will fail, or there will be few functionalities which will not work. So in that case, how to mitigate this problem. To mitigate this problem, I use a file called pom.xml, which is basically a configuration file, and it takes care of all the dependencies which are there or can be due to my code change. It can be Java, it can be .NET, Python, whatever code you want, you will get a pom.xml for that, and accordingly you can integrate everything together. So this is on the code part. Okay. Now, once pom.xml is available, the code is available, you can go ahead and compile your code. So,
hello, sir.
Yeah.
Once just like it's only for Java, or you can change the languages like anything JavaScript or so we can put
No,
in
JavaScript is not supported. See,
okay.
there are certain languages which are supported. Not everything is supported. So let me say I'm using Maven. Okay, so Maven does not support everything. It is clearly saying Maven supports Java. You have C#, Ruby, Scala, and programming languages. Like if I'm working with .NET, I will work with a called NANT. N-A-N-T, NANT. So NANT is for .NET projects. So you will have to come up with a particular build automation tool. So it will totally depend on what kind of project you're working on. Based on that, you will choose your build automation tool. There are thousands of build automation tool available in the market, but based on what your code is, you will pick one. The integration will be same, but the build automation tool may vary. Okay. So I have done here. I have come to pom.xml. I have taken care of the configuration. Using Maven archetype, I have generated the code and I have made changes to my code. Now, next step here is, it is saying you can build the project. So building the project is known as, or it can be done as MVN package. Now, there are various life cycles or various things which you can do on Maven, like validate. It will not execute the code. It will just see the correct and all necessary informations are present or not, kind of a dry run. Compile will just compile the source code. Test will run the test cases. Package means if there are 4 developers, all have pushed their code at the same time, I can put all of them together and compile and run them at one single shot. Integration test, if I have some 2-3 applications to run. Verify will verify if all the quality criteria are met or not. Install, and install is, it will package and keep everything ready. Deploy means it will finally deploy. Clean means anything which is previously there, it will clean it. Site is, it will generate the site document. So basically these are the things which you can do. Here, if I come here, it is saying
Hello, sir.
MVN package.
Yeah, means what is means build means why we build those project actually. We directly compile and we can also do it now in a GitHub. We GitHub in a type, we directly push in a GitHub.
But I am trying to automate the process now. I don't want to do it manually. So I want to automate everything. CI/CD pipeline means you talk about automation. If you keep manually compiling everything, there is a situation where you end up in problems like version mismatch. So the code is running in your laptop, not running in production environment. So I cannot manually sit and fix all these things. That's why I'm bringing Jenkins into picture, because Jenkins will automate everything. So whatever as of now I'm trying to do manually, I will automate that. This is the purpose of Jenkins.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
Fine. So here it is saying build the project, and to build the project, you can run MVN package. Now let me come back here and try to run this command. So I'll come here and say MVN package. It will fail. Okay. The moment I run this code, it fails. And if you read carefully, it says the goal you specified, read this. The goal you specified requires project to execution, but there is no POM file in this directory. Means wherever you have your POM file, there only you can run this command. So if I say pwd, I see I am in root, but my pom.xml is inside my app. So let me go inside my app. Now from here, I will say MVN package. So it will run. And you can see once it runs, it will compile the code, it will run the test cases. And finally, it says it has built a jar. So jar is nothing but the executable or the final output which I'm expecting. and it is the executable, or it is the artifact which I want. So now if I come here and say ls-l, you'll see a new folder called target has come in. And if you go inside this folder target, you will see it has a different folder structure altogether. Snapshot.jar is there, or let me just show it like this only. Go inside target. You will see these many things got generated. Class, source. So these are okay, but I am interested in this jar file. So this jar is a machine readable code. So if I come and see cat my app dot whatever it is, my, so you can see, wait, see here, it is some machine readable code. I'm not able to read it. Okay, Control C. Clear out. So basically what I have done with manual effort, first I installed Java, then I installed Maven, then I wrote a Java code, and I finally converted that Java code, or I compiled, I built that Java code, and I made a artifact or a machine readable code with that. Now I want to execute it. To execute it, you will get the command. This is the, you may test your newly compiled and jar file with the following command. So the command is java -cp, and you can take, or you can test whether you, whatever you have done is correct or not. Paste it. Okay, 1 second. cg dot dot, wrong place. Again, this, whatever you are running, ls. So whenever you're running, make sure that you're running from pom.xml. Okay. And you can see hello world from AWS. If you remember, the code which I changed was this only, hello world from AWS. So I'm able to write a code, compile the code, and finally execute the code using java -cp command. Now, a very common question which is asked is, sir, do I need to write the code? I don't know Java. Now the answer is, you do not have to write the code from scratch. Okay, there will be developers who will write the code and give it to you. So your work will start from the place where the code is present in GitHub. Okay, but many a times it may happen, let me say you're working in a small team, so there will be only one developer and they may ask you to help, but they cannot give you the entire thing, because that is a different profile altogether. That is Java development or .NET development, Python development. So there are developers. So while taking demo, I told there will be specialist batsman, specialist bowler. You will act as an all-rounder who know little bit of dev, little bit of operations. So let me say the developer is on leave and the code is having a small problem. So you can go ahead and edit the code to a small extent, not major changes. So anytime the expectation is not that a DevOps engineer will go and make major changes in the code. Minor changes, yes, you are expected to do the changes. Now, once the code is done, where do I go ahead and keep the code? So I always push the code to GitHub. But to push the code to GitHub, the first thing what I should do is I should run this command called git init. Why? Because if you don't run git init, it's a normal repo. I want to turn it into a Git repo. Once that is done, I will go ahead and create a repo here and I will push my code to my GitHub. Okay. So let me just come here and say github.com. New repo. So let me say my app, and I'll give a name as my evening app, EVE, my evening app, and it is 02, or let me put it like this. I will say integration of Java, Jenkins, Maven, and Git. So these are the 4 things which will integrate together: Java, Jenkins, Maven, Git. It's a public repository. Don't touch anything else. Come here and say, I want to create a repository. Now it says do git init. I've already done. Now git add and git commit is what I'm going to do. And after that, I will run these 3 commands. Okay, come here. I will say git status. So you can see these files have changed basically. So I'll say git add dot, then git commit -m code, Java code changed. Java code changed. Okay, so it is saying your email ID and all are not configured. So go ahead and do it. So this is a new machine, so probably it is not done. Git config -- global user dot email. Go ahead and provide your email ID. Then I will go with my username. Okay. So this is my user ID and email. Now I will do a git commit. Okay, git commit done. These code changes moved to my git commit. Now I have copied this guy. This guy I have copied. I'll copy it again. And then come here, paste it here. So git branch done, git remote add done. Now I'm doing a git push. What is the username? Vikas 99341. What is your password? So I have my password. I don't have my password here. Okay, let me create a new one because the old one is gone. Let me go to this place, setting. Developer setting, personal access token. So I can create a new one, generate a new token. And I'll give all the powers which it has. I told you that when you will be working on prod environment, definitely you will not be getting all the access unless and until you are admin. Here you see I get all admin access. Generate token. Okay, I will say new token. And let me just go ahead and create it. This is my token. Copy this. Come here. Paste it. And I can see my changes has been moved to GitHub. So now I'll do one more thing. I will go to this GitHub which I have created. And I created my evening app. And I can see my code has been moved here. And this is the commit which I have done. August 2, Java code changed. Now this is the developer who has pushed the change to GitHub. Now I am saying my Jenkins should take this code and build the code. Until now, I was manually doing it. So now let's come to Jenkins. Now this is Jenkins environment, which is up and running. Now what I will do is I'll go back to dashboard and I will integrate Jenkins and Git, Maven, everything together. Okay. Here come to manage Jenkins and come to global tool configuration. Now here you need to say where is your JDK installed. Okay, so let me just come down here. Here when you come to JDK, you will see add JDK option. Click on this. So add JDK is nothing but you tell where Java is installed. If it is not installed, it will install automatically. That I don't want. Java is installed or Java is already available. So I will say Java is this guy, Java home, Control C. Give a name, any name is okay. Okay, Java home. What is the path where it is installed? So I will take this entire path. Okay, come here and put this guy. Install this last, you have JRE, remove that, okay, and put a enter here. Now suppose you make some mistake, you don't put it correctly, it will throw you error. Oh wait, give me 1 second. See here, it is throwing you error. It is saying this is not a correct path. So I will just add whatever I missed. Now if I click outside, no, it is not throwing error. Don't go by install automatically because you have already installed it. So no need to do it again. Similarly, I need I need Git. So Git is taken by default. So you can see here default is there. Don't touch Git, let it be here. Then you will get something called Maven. So you come here, answer Maven installation, and you can come here and say add Maven. Add Maven. Give a name to this. Okay, install automatically. No, I don't want to install. Give a name. So again, I'll come back here. So this is Maven home. So let me take this Control C. Name I've given as Maven home. Again, you give any name of your choice and you come and select this path and say apply, save. Now, if you get this option Maven here, very good. If you don't get this option, before coming here, go to this guy, manage plugins. Okay. Come here to this section called manage plugins. Click on this and you go to your available section. Okay. Here, look for Maven integration. I have already installed it, so I am going to install it. But you go to available. Okay. Come here and say Maven integration. So this is the plugin. So it basically says it will integrate Maven and Jenkins together. Okay, I have already installed it. See, it is enabled for me. Okay, for you, you have to come to available and say Maven, and let me say this is the plugin. Click on this and then download now and install after restart. This is what you have to do. For me, it is already done, so I'm skipping this. So now what I have done on my local and on my console, both the places I have made sure that Jenkins is available. Now, once this is done, back to dashboard. Now I'm going to create a new project. So all the setup is done. New project. What is the name of your project? I'll say first Java project. Give any name of your choice. Is it going to be a freestyle project? No, I want a Maven project. Now this option will come only when you install the plugin, Maven integrator. That plugin needs to be installed. Okay. So here it says you can build a Maven project and Jenkins will take the advantage of form and this will drastically reduce your configuration work. So I'm okay with this. Take this, say okay. Now, what are you trying to do here? So in the description, you will say this job will integrate Java, Maven, Jenkins, and Git. So these are the components which I'm going to integrate together. Here, the next step says source code management. Where is your code present? So say my code is present in Git. Then in Git, which repository? So this repository, code, come and take this URL. Whatever URL you get, take this. Come here, put it here. Okay. Now you should not get any error because Git is pre-installed. So on the Jenkins machine where you're working, Git should be installed or it should be configured. If not, then you will get error. If you're getting error here, go here and do this thing. Yum install git -y means on this machine Git should be installed or you will get an error. So for me, it is saying nothing to do because Git is already installed. But in case you're getting an error here, you give like that. Now come down, it is asking me for credentials. So come here and say add Jenkins, and I will say my username is Vikas99341. Password, I'll give my password. ID, what is this? So I will say these are my Git password. Same thing, I'll put it here. Add. Now in the drop down, you will see your Git password. So you have provided your password. Now a little bit down, which branch are you going to put it? Is it in master branch? No, it is in main branch. Add, if it is a different branch, you add branch. Then next you can leave all these things for time being, go to build. In build, you see pom.xml is already mapped. Why? Because I have told where is Maven. Accordingly, it has gone and found that pom.xml is here. So it is already picked up. Now, what would you like to do? So I will like to clean first. Is whatever is there from previous, I want to clean it and I want to package everything. Package. So clean, package. Done. Apply, save. Okay. And then you can execute it like this, or you can put a schedule. So first I will execute it like this. Build now. So it will start the build. See here, the build has started. First time when you are running, it will take good amount of time. Okay. But then gradually you will see that it is working smooth. First time it takes a good amount of time because it installs a lot of things. But at the end, if you see here, I got a success and the same jar file got generated. So basically what I'm trying to do here is whatever I was initially doing with manual effort, now I am automatically doing it. So how automatically you can do it? So let me just come here, configure, and in my build trigger, this build trigger, let me say I want to run in every 1 minute. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Sorry, because one quick
5.
question. The snapshot which is showing here, is this the same snapshot picked from the GitHub, the latest snapshot, or it will again generate?
No. It will always take the snapshot from GitHub only. So just see here. 1, go to console output. See here, it says it is started by admin, building a workspace. So in Jenkins, this is where it is getting executed. And here it is saying cloning the Git repository. So whatever is there in the Git repository, which you have mentioned here, it will take everything from there. And it will go and look for your latest commit, whatever you have. So git reverse parse is the command which will take the latest commit what you have. See here. This is the latest commit which I have. Okay, so it took the code from latest commit. The commit message also was checked. Java code changed. And then it was looking for pom.xml because at the end of the day, it has to take care of the dependencies. And then finally it executed everything and gave me a jar file. Now, where can I see this jar file? Go back to this project. Here, if you go to workspace, here, if you go to your, this is pom.xml, this is your target. And here, all the way down here, you can see your jar file. Okay. Now,
Sorry, it's the same content I have in my repo.
No, this is not the same content. More importantly, if you have some confusion, you can remove this file from here and you can only keep this thing. So this target guy is coming because I already had this thing in my code. So it got carried all the way here. But in case you want to remove it and you want to run it separately, you can do it. The most important thing which you should see here is that this is the project. See here. So the project is getting executed without any problem. I have a test case and it is passing. It's a very nominal test case. It is passing. More importantly, this job is automatically getting executed. 217, 218, 219, 220. Why is it happening? Because I have my auto trigger thing enabled. So build trigger. I'll remove this guy, apply, save. Now here I'll put a condition. The condition says that only build the code when there is a change in GitHub. So now if you see here, it will not build, or it will not start 221, it will not run. Okay, so just let me come here.
Okay, so if you don't make any commit, so no changes are made.
No, if I have done no commit, no changes are made, and hence the job will not be triggered. Now what I'm trying to do is, in my Git job, I have something called poll SCM. So go to build trigger. I have something called poll SCM. You can click on this and you can read this. So poll SCM basically what does is, Jenkins will go to my Git and it will say, have you changed anything? Is there a latest commit? No, come back. Let me say the frequency is 1 minute. After 1 minute, again it will go. Have you changed anything? So this is what I'm doing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So every minute it will go to my Git and it will say, do you have a change? Do you have a change? Now here I get something extra, Git polling logs. So if you come here, polling has not run yet. If it starts running, it will try to look for a change. So every 1 minute it will run. So I will wait for a minute, 1951. So I'll wait for a minute for this to run. Meanwhile, if you have checked here, the code is not running every minute. So let me wait for this to come up. So if I come to Git polling log, it was run on 222 and no changes, means there is no change in the code and hence it is not running. Now what I will do is, I will go ahead and make changes to my code. So let me say, I went ahead to my source and to this code app.java and I made some changes. Ideally, I should not make changes from here. I should take it to local and change. But let me say I added 1, 2, 3. Okay. I will say edited app.java. Commit the changes. Now if I come back here, what will I see? I will see a new commit ID, edited app.java, and in Jenkins, I will find this log. So let me wait for a minute and this log will be captured here. Just refresh this guy. See, changes found, and it has triggered the build. See here, triggered the build. More importantly, when you come here, and if you go all the way down here, started by SCM change. There was a change in SCM, and when I was trying to do a git fetch, I found that a new commit was done. Okay, when I found a new commit was done, this was the commit message associated, and after that I picked the code and compiled and created a new snapshot.jar for you. So this is how I integrate Git, Maven, Java, and Jenkins. So there are 2 levels of integrations. One is done at a background level or a CLI level, and the second integration is done on the front end or on the UI level. You have to do it step by step. If you miss a certain step, it will not work. There are 100 places where it can go wrong. So my request will be, watch the video step by step and go ahead and work with this, and you will be able to work with it. The once you are able to do it, you gain immense amount of confidence, and this is the most simple CI pipeline which you will find in this entire thing. Okay, so you can start with this. Tomorrow when we join, I'll wait for your questions. So if you have questions, I will take those questions. Okay, if you have questions now, you can take them now also.
The unique thing I needed, can you just share again the video from yesterday, but a little bit good quality to recap, because it was so difficult to read?
Okay, I'll ask the coordinator to do that.
Muchas gracias. And then I think everything was so clear. I watch again the video and try to do by myself.
Yeah. Okay, great then. We meet tomorrow, guys. See you then. Bye bye.
Vikas, see you tomorrow. Bye bye. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello, Vikas sir. Hello, Vikas sir.
I think he's gone.
Okay.
Bye bye.